I'm Brenda and I'm from Busy Bee Ceramics, and today I'm going to show you how to make a pinch pot. We have a little kit here that I'm just going to run through what's in the kit. We have clay, which is air dry clay, a little tool for decorating, a little fork just for making up some glue, some paints for painting later on, and a couple of paintbrushes, a big one and a small one for detail. Okay, so I made this piece of clay into a ball, and what I'm going to do first, I think, is just take a piece of it off. And I'll explain what this bit is for later on. And you can roll it onto a piece of wood or on your hands, and you're just going to make it as round as you can. And then I'm going to take my thumb and I'm just going to start to squeeze. So I'm just turning the clay around in my hand, and I'm just using this motion with my thumb and my fingers to actually make the clay stretch, just to work up towards the top. So you can see it's just stretching and getting bigger. Now once you've gone up once, I would suggest going back down into the bottom again and squeezing again. The clay is quite resilient and quite strong, so you should be able to get a good size pot from this. So when you're happy with the size, you can give it a gentle wee with your knuckle, a little punch in the bottom, just to give it a bit of a round shape underneath. And then after that, you just turn it upside down and you just start smoothing with your finger. Or you could even use the wee tool, the side of the tool, and just scrape it, just to make it more even. Now you might like the look of your finger marks on it, and you don't want to scrape it, that's up to you. Just make it nice and smooth. Okay, so I'm happy enough with that so far. So I'm going to just make some little feet for the bottom of it. And to do that, I'll just make a couple of little balls of clay and stick them on the bottom. Then I'm going to make up some slip. So this is some of the clay and water mixed, and it makes like the glue that will stick these little pieces on to the base. And how you make this is using your fork, just add in some pieces of clay into the water and just mix it up. So to stick on the bottom pieces, I'm going to get my fork and just make little scratches on the base of each of them, and then get some of the glue and just push it on there. So now I'm just getting it cleaned up with the little tool again, and just cleaning around the little pieces at the base. Just another thought, if you're not finished your pot and you have to go out or something, I would suggest give it a wee squirt of water and either wrap it up in some cling film, a little bit of this, or if you have like something like a lunchbox handy, you can just put the little pot inside the lunchbox just to keep it airtight so that it doesn't dry out. And then when you're ready, another day, bring it out again and continue working on it. So this next part, we're going to start actually decorating our pot. If you have a tool that's shaped like this, maybe you can just do lines. You could do zigzags. It's up to you what you put on. It's quite therapeutic to do this once you get going. And to finish off, I just make sure it's sitting nice and straight. Just to make sure it's sitting nice and straight, you can just check it, that it's level. Maybe even turn it upside down and give it a wee dish down on the wood, just to keep it nice and straight at the top. And yeah, voila. So yeah, when you're happy with your pot and you've done all your decorations, I'd say you should leave it out to dry for about 3 to 4 days. And then you can use the paints. And we can start painting then. Okay, so when your pot is pretty much dry after a few days, it'll look a different colour, so you can see where the water left it. And it changed into a sort of a grey colour. Now, you may want to paint it. Some people like to leave it just like that and maybe put some PVA glue and water together and just paint it with that to give it some kind of a shine. What I like to do is maybe just choose some of my favourite colours, nice bright colours, and just start painting. I find the painting is just as therapeutic as the making. As you can see, I use a little box, something just to elevate the pot up rather than trying to paint when you're down here and you're trying to see the sides. It's easier really. The brushes we have in the kit, we have one little thin one thicker one, and then I have a little bit of water for washing my brushes out and a little bit of kitchen road for drying it. I think I'm going to keep the rim a different colour, so I just want to avoid the rim. And as I say, no hurry, and you can always come back to it if you don't get it all finished in one go. If you come across like jaggy bits that are kind of stuck out, I would get a little bit of sandpaper and just sand them bits off and just blow it. So you can see that took that off. Yeah, sometimes I go over the line, you know, when I'm trying to keep out of it, but I'm not going to get too worried about that. Okay, so there's my wee pot. I'm quite happy with that. You can actually give it a wee shine by mixing up PVA glue and water and just putting it around your little pot, and you'll get a nice wee shine on it. I'd love to see the images of your pots if you want to upload them to your Facebook or Instagram and give us a little tag. We would so appreciate it. And thanks for joining us.